We are here for the, believe it or not, February meeting of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Ripley. And I'll call that meeting to order. We'll have a roll call by our city recorder. I haven't said anything that needs to be recorded, so we're in good shape. Except call the meeting to order.
That's right.
We'll do
Alderman
that.
Austin. Here. Alderman Chipman.
Here.
Alderman Davis.
Here.
Alderman Hankins.
Here.
Alderman Thompson. Alderman Treadway. Here. And Mayor Fitching.
Here. Thank you. We'd ask the superintendent of our gas, water, and sewer department to lead us in an invocation, and we'll follow that by the pledge of allegiance. Scott.
Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you, Lord, for this night, giving us to come and be a part of this meeting, Lord. I ask you to be with the leaders, Lord, our aldermen, and the decisions they make, Father, and just continue to protect us, Lord, protect our workers. Thank you for the people who attended tonight, Father, and we just give you glory and all that you've done for us through your Son, Jesus, God. In your name, we pray, Jesus, we pray.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're at item 5, the January 9th, 2023 minutes, as were delivered in your package.
Motion to approve?
We have a motion by Alderman Hankins and a second by Alderman Treadway to approve that. Is there any discussion? If not, we'll take a vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. I hear no no's, so that item 5 passes. We'll move to item 6. Our financial statement, as usual, is printed and delivered in your agenda package.
So moved, Mayor.
Alderman Chipman moves.
Second.
And I have a second from Ms. Alston. And so we have the matter before us. Is there any discussion? If not, we're ready to vote. All in favor of that financial report, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. I see no negative votes, so that passes. Item 7 is the place for correspondence that we've received, and this month we have received none, so we will mark it as completed and move to the mayor's comments, which will be brief. I would like to just sort of bring you up to date on where we are with our oral committee. That's the Opportunities Await Ripley. We've been through most of the processes for our strategic plan and putting those together. Now we're ready for action items. It was amazing to me how consistent the different groups that looked at these things, what they noticed as the most pressing problems and the most pressing needs and the biggest opportunities for us. So I plan to try to set a meeting, sometime in late February, so that we can sort of get this first round cleared up. And what I'm pleased about is that many of the things that are on this list are already taking place. So I think we're a little ahead of the game, and we appreciate that. So that's really the only comments that I have. So if nobody has any comments about that, we've moved to department reports. They're on a monthly basis given to us, and I hope you've had a chance to look at them. We also give each superintendent of the department the opportunity to bring out something that might be good, might be not so good, but that the board might want to hear, and then you can ask any questions of any of the reported folks. So we're open for any comments by the board or by any superintendent or department head.
I'd like to commend Johnny Ford and his department for the tree. I don't think you could have done a better job, and I'm real proud to be part of Ripley and have you as our department head.
I got several calls. Thank you.
I did too as well, especially, hate to compare cities and communities, but those that are to the north and south of us, those comments were made that when you got to Lauderdale County, and especially Ripley, it was good. So we hope we don't have to talk about ice and snow anymore this year, but appreciate that. Okay, anybody else? Any of the department heads wish to say anything? All right, we have completed that report. We'll go to item 10, which is a consideration of off-premises beer permit for Ripley Express doing business as Main Street Express on 231 North Main Street in Ripley. A copy of that petition or that application is before you, and we're open for a motion or at least discussion on this as we.
The chief
As we
has
move forward.
verified that everything is,
All right.
the background was good.
Our recorder said that the chief has verified that what's in here is correct. So
And
that-
just to verify the location, it's down at,
Yes,
on North Main.
correct, next to
That's-
the
used to be
election
Mickey's
office.
or- Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
right,
that the
Election
old
office and the Green
Mickey's?
Cemetery.
but that's
Mickey's.
it,
Yeah.
yes.
You got a motion yet?
I'll make one if you don't.
You go ahead, I think I already.
I already did it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Alderman Austin makes the motion, and one of the guys down at the end, Hankins, makes the second. So we have a motion and a second. I believe this individual already has a quick stop in town, and it's the one that is on
L&M, that used to be Linwood.
Linwood's Market.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll commend his operation there. It's very nice.
Well,
I'm glad to
he's
see something
also
going in
got the one out on the south side.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Which one? Is the one on the highway
yeah,
by the car wash?
yeah.
That's what I was thinking that was it too.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
Good, and it looks good too, so
Yeah, it's
we
clean.
appreciate that.
Mhm.
So we have that motion and a second, and we've had some discussion. Is there further discussion? And this is a one-time vote, right? We're ready to vote for it. It's a final vote. So with that, do we want to, I can't remember, we'll roll call vote on this, so we'll take a roll, Madam Clerk, as a vote.
Alderman Austin? Yes. Alderman Chipman?
Yeah,
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderman Hankins?
Yes.
Alderman Treadway?
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes. Appears to pass unanimously, so we'll declare it passed and move on to the next item, which is consideration on first reading of an ordinance proposal that we have concerning the amending of Title III Municipal Court. And you've had it before you. The real purpose of this is to allow a reduction in cost when, two things. I'll yield to the lawyer.
All right, so, as you all know, we have been, for about 2 years now, we've been in the process of updating the municipal code. And so, some of what is in the ordinance before you today is something that would have come in with this new draft, but we need to pass it now because it also contains provisions for the e-citation. The police department is starting to use e-citations, and this does allow for the e-citation and for the assessment of a fee for a limited period, which is what's allowed by state law, to essentially compensate the city or offset some of the cost of adapting the e-citation. In the portion of the court costs, section, which is the first sections of the ordinance, there is a new provision there which allows a defendant who doesn't want to come to court but who wants to go to the clerk's office in advance of the court date and plead guilty to whatever the civil offense is they're charged with, to pay a reduced amount of court costs for doing that. So it expedites those by not making people come and sit in court, but it allows us to collect a significant portion of the same court costs we would have assessed if they had come to court. So it's two things. It's adding a reduced court cost of $75 if somebody comes in advance of court, enters a plea of guilty, signs off on that with the clerk and pays $75 in costs, and it includes the e-citation and the collection of the fee for the e-citation. And I just handed up, the mayor had a question about the draft of the court cost provision of the statute. And so I added some wording to section 1 there to maybe clarify what his concern with. Mayor, does that satisfy you?
It does, and
Would
I
you-
appreciate the
Would you
lawyer
read the redrafted number 1?
doing that. It says now, under, below the now therefore clause in 301(1), in all cases where guilt is determined by the city judge shall impose court cost in the amount of $100. It just makes sure that if someone is found not guilty, that they won't be assessed with cost. It also ensures that the judge shall not reduce the cost, but shall make it at the full $100. I appreciate the lawyer doing that. I would consider that as an amendment if there is a motion to amend this. Yes,
That $75, if they come and pay it early?
Yeah,
plus
if
the
they come
cost,
in
is that what
advance of
they
the
do?
court date, if they come in advance of the court date, go to the clerk's office, and there's on the citation form itself, there's a place to sign off and say, I plead guilty to this. If they sign off and do that with the clerk, then they pay a reduced cost of $75.
Which
They do that right
120
now,
if you go
but they're
to
paying
the
$100 right
I
now.
thought we
100.
voted on that $100.
you know, we raised that
Mayor, how you
cost.
feel?
Yeah, just a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
just, since I know within the last 2 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think it gives some encouragement to go ahead and get these cases out of the way, and I think it would be,
Like it's some of those.
Well,
you
there are really 3 benefits, and number 1 is that the defendant gets to come in really on their schedule, so long as it's before court. They get to come in on their schedule, they get the reduced court cost, and the court docket gets lessened some.
I'll make the motion.
I second.
Alderman Hankins moves and Alderman Austin seconds that. So we're before, now I would consider that a motion to amend if you're all right with
Sure.
what the lawyer did. And we'll vote on that amendment, and then we have to have another
Then we'll have
reading.
another, yeah, we do.
We got to have a public hearing too?
Yes.
Yes.
So is everybody ready to vote on that?
Yes, sir.
All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. That's the first reading as amended. We'll move to the next in the order that we're supposed to. So unless our clerk left off the second page of the agenda, we appear to be, we've got one more item to do, which is item 12, the consideration of the draft of the Lauderdale County Hazard Mitigation Plan submitted and approved by FEMA. You have it in your package. FEMA requires,
I'll admit I didn't read the whole thing, but I asked the chief about it tonight.
Can you explain that?
yes, I can, but we are under a time limit tonight, so.
Well-
No, this is a draft that has been made, and they've approved it already, but they can't approve it finally unless we have a vote to
All
approve it.
municipalities in the county each have to approve the draft.
So we're going by how many people? Because I was reading in there. and
No,
it was that
no,
way.
well, you're just talking about in general, the entire document.
Okay,
Yeah. The Ripley, Hall, Skates,
right,
Lauderdale County,
yeah,
Henry, all have to participate in it.
okay.
And there's even this, part of it is the sign-in sheet where
That's
everybody
right.
attended the meeting and signed off on it. So, what we've got is the draft, lacking only our approval. It's been sort of pre-approved by FEMA. So if we approve it and we send it back to them,
I'll make a motion that we approve it, Mayor.
all right. Alderman Hankins moves, Alderman Chipman seconds. We have it before us now. We've had some questions answered. Is there any discussion? If not, we'll vote. Let's take a roll call just in case they require that for some reason.
Alderman Austin?
Yes.
Alderman Chipman?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderman Hankins?
Yes.
Alderman Redway?
Yes.
Mayor Pickett?
Yes, everyone in attendance voted yes, so that, our approval of that plan passes. Now, is there anything else from anyone to come before the board? If not, appreciate your attendance, and the folks in the audience, we appreciate you. This is a short meeting, but We've got a lot of things to look forward to in our town, and we appreciate your interest. Nothing further, we stand adjourned.